I have seen my parents, you would have seen your parents, and probably none of us have seen a cordial pair of parents, everything, sometime, somewhere, all the time, something is always happening. So, when we are talking about peace of mind and the impressions or expressions of happiness and understanding of happiness, you know, the definition of happiness in the material world varies from person to person. Yeah, you know, if you are sitting, your definition of happiness will be different to your definition of happiness, and it also changes day by day. Let us say a small child, his happiness is, oh, I wish I can have a push bike. I will be so happy in the world. The little adolescent or a teenager will say, I will be so happy if I have a latest iPhone and all the gadgets. So I can browse, so I can scroll. I will be the happiest person. I will have my own freedom. And a person in the mid-30s will say, okay, I will be happy if my career is settled, if my business, if my job is well, and the woman is thinking, I will be so happy if I get my dream partner and all that, And in the 40s, the definition of happiness changes to, I will be happy if my children are good and I'm financially secured and everything. And in the 50s, I will be very happy if I am not been nagged by my partner, or my children listen to me, or they excel in their studies, or peace of mind. And when you touch in 70s or 80s, and you will say, I will be so happy if I can just go to toilet without any problem. Your happiest spot becomes your toilet later on, So, but friends, the concept of happiness, everyone talks about happiness, but everyone understands happiness differently. But if happiness is so different, how come everyone is using the same word called happiness? So there must be something which is being referred to and which we do not understand. Like, what is the real happiness? What is the real peace? What is real love? So happiness we are seeking out, it lasts only few seconds. Like, I'm so happy, immediately somebody says something to you, you turn into an angry person, you turn into a violent person. Or somebody says, okay, why are you so happy? People are talking this thing about you and that. What? How dare they? And all of a sudden, a happy, love and light person becomes the embodiment of anger and revenge and jealousy and whatnot. So when we talk about eternal happiness in our lives, then when we remain in the Kriya world, Kriya means when we remain in the world of action, we tend to go out to look for these things called happiness, peace, love, because that is what has been taught to us, that if you study properly, you will get a good job, and you will secure a good partner, you will have a beautiful car, beautiful house, money, and then you will be happy forever. When you get a partner, when you are educated, when you are financially secured, you will be happy, you will get love of your life, only to realize that what is love and what is happiness, and is it really possible? Well, the reality is, till we are seeking the happiness and peace and love outside in the material world, every time we get disappointment, because the happiness that we seek outside is short-lived, because that is related to the possessions of money, possessions of partners, possession of job, possession of this and that. The question comes, can I actually understand what real happiness and peace is and love is? And if I can understand, do I have access to permanency in the peace? That my state of mind is permanently at peace and happy with myself and contentful with myself. That is when yogis, the meditators, the seasonal meditators, the gurus, the masters, the saints, all the Buddhas and the Christs and Guru Nanaks and everybody, the Mahavatar Babaji, they come into play because these are the personalities in the past who have guided the humanity to achieve the state of mind which is permanently blissful, contentful, and peaceful, right? So when we talk about Kriya Yoga, for example, and we practice Kriya Yoga in certain way, it actually opens the physical body, the cells in certain way that all the generational traumas or all the angers and greeds and jealousies, all this is a dense energy that tends to get released, okay? When it tends to get released and we keep on practicing Kriya again and again and again and again, slowly what is happening, your breath, your body starts to align with each other. Right now, many people, they are walking, but they do not know whether they are breathing or not. So breath is completely disintegrated from the body. And we search for the power, and the power is not in the body. The real power is in your breath. But if your breath is disintegrated from your body, you tend to deplete very, very quickly. No wonder people run towards coffee every 2 hours because they need energy in the body. All they need to do is breathe. And when you continuously do something, your body is trained with that breath. Or your breath becomes trained in the body, and slowly with the practice, with the continuous effort, your brain starts rewiring itself. Or we say it is creating a new neuropath. The neuropath which will take you from the world of delusions, from the world of poverty consciousness, or disturbance, or grief, or noise, or sadness, or stress, or depression, towards the world of inner peace and contentfulness. And at that moment, the yogi realized that by practicing Kriya in certain way, your definition of happiness vanishes completely. Because if there is happiness, there has to be what? Sadness, the opposite. So happiness is the duality and sadness. So if you are looking for happiness, sadness is there. So if you are looking for peace, what will exist? Disturbance, right? So then yogis tend to go right into the middle path, where absolutely vastness of nothingness gets activated. That you can call the eternal peace. And that is the blissful state. We call it as a samabhava, equanimous mind. What is equanimous mind? When it is not wavering towards the duality. One time you are jumping, one time you will have to cry. One time you are so happy and jumping and dancing, one time you are just struggling to find your words and you are choking with your emotions out. One time you are so sad, everything is good. That duality shifts. Because now, as you understand scientifically, we have left hemisphere of the brain, we have right hemisphere of the brain. And it is said that generally the men have left hemisphere, which is more logical, and right hemisphere, which is more emotional. So men are connected more towards the left hemisphere of the brain. And females are more connected with the right hemispheres of the brain. So this crisscross happens. Okay? And then what happens? That is where the duality is. We are born with half the life. Okay? And we have to realize the other half. So if you are a soul in the woman's body, female's body, you have to realize that male energy within you. What is the male energy? The warrior, to be able to stand, to be able to protect, which you do, which women do take role of that. And the men have to realize that connections with their emotions, to be able to be vulnerable and cry. And these qualities tend to exist within the same body. These emotions have nothing to do with the male and a female. These are the energies. You are born with the combination of your father and mother. So you are carrying the mother's energy and the father's energy, male energy and the female energy. But somewhere you have been identifying yourself with the type of body that you are born in and thinking that I am a female or I am a woman. But in that male and female, you are to realize the other half. That is realizing the completeness within you. So what happens? By practicing Kriya Yoga, your left hemisphere of the brain and the right hemisphere of the brain, left body and the right body tends to equalize and become balanced. As you have practiced, in the Kriya there are different stages of Kriya. How you tend to bend this way and that way. All what you are doing is trying to rush the life force energy into certain body parts to make them alive. Once you make your inner body, this body is aligned with yourself, then you work on your breath. And that breath, when it starts flowing in the middle of your body, which we call Sushumna, or the central channel, it tends to take the duality out of your life, which also means that I don't have becomes I have. That is when you will start realizing your inner powers inside you. You start realizing your contentfulness, peacefulness. You start being at natural self of yours, that this is what it is and I'm happy with it. If it is sitting happy in me, and if it is not, you will express. But before you express what is not, you will spend time with yourself to contemplate on that what is my learning in this? What is nature trying to teach me here? Why has that happened? What did I understand? What did I learn from it? And from that learnings, when you acknowledge your learnings, you will be thankful that thank God it has happened, whatever has happened. Because without that, you wouldn't be thinking on those lines. You wouldn't be contemplating. So every person, for example, who gave you certain traumas in life, they have also opened your certain levels of your conscious mind to what's behind. From every conscious action, there is a subconscious action. So something happened, okay, that has happened, good or bad, time will decide. But now your role is to get into that and see, what did I learn? How did I grow? Because everything that happens will make you grow. It is not possible that something happened in your life, and you have not grown. So, people who do not have a guidance, when something happens, they go into the downward spiral, means procrastination, complaints, crying, victim mode. But when somebody has a guidance, they get into contemplation mode. They tend to be in gratitude because the understanding is coming, which is making you wiser. Now people want to be seen as wiser, but they become ungrateful for all that happened in their life, which is in conflict. And the universe will not appreciate that. One, you tell people that how wise you are, yet you are in complaint to whoever came and conspired to grow you. That is when we say forgiveness is door to the kingdom of God. And as Jesus said, be a child to enter in the kingdom of God. Child means being in joy, being in the moment, not carrying the past, not complaining, enjoying, eating when you are hungry and drinking when you are thirsty, taking the rest when you are tired. That's what children do. But when we grow into adults, we tend to leave our child, which means we become disintegrated. Your body is here, food is here, the spoon is putting the food in the mouth, and you are talking somebody else, and the mind is running some complete disintegration. And then we say that where is the peace? So when we perform Kriya Yoga, you tend to become one, ekam. You tend to integrate yourself as one being. You are where your body is and your breathing is. Because this is when the Kriya Yoga becomes even much more potent in these times, because your breath has connection to the physical body, your physical realms, material world, and your subtle world, which is your beyond the mind. So Kriya will first activate your body, balance it out, then it aligns yourself with the breath, and then through the breath you go into the realms, other higher realms. So in a way, by performing Kriya, your brain gets completely new neuropath. Brain wiring, the neuro wiring inside is complete. And when you are flowing into the middle channels, then what happens? You will have access to your subconscious mind. From the subconscious mind to the unconscious mind, which is sleeping, which you have no idea. So around 3 to 4% is your conscious mind, right? And then maybe 20-30% is your subconscious mind, and it becomes so overwhelming. But we are talking about 70% that is unconscious, the sleeping giant within you. That is where you will have access to the universe, all that wisdom. And by performing Kriya, you are not only stopping the decay of your body, decarbonizing your cells, you're oxidizing your brain cells, which means it has now the capacity to hold more energy, more life force energy. Okay? And as a result, your DNA, which is a sleeping, or scientists say only 3-4% DNA is useful, rest is a junk DNA. What do you mean? Is my body junk? Have I come out of the junk? No. Just because you don't have access, you can't prove in the lab, doesn't mean that 96% of my DNA is rubbish. No. So by performing that Kriya again and again, you start getting activation of your DNA, the fullness inside you, the infiniteness inside you. And that's when the Yogananda ji says, the small 100-watt bulb is incapable of having 11,000 volt of current. So by performing Kriya, you are increasing your capacity to hold 100 watts, and the 200, and the 1,000, and the 5,000, and the 10,000. All you are doing is emptying up yourself, because it is that past rubbish that is blocking you, making you react to any nonsense that happens. People's happiness is so shallow that you are sitting so peacefully reading the book, somebody honks on the road and they get disturbed inside. Like, what kind of peace is that? Somebody sitting, I am so peaceful, I am so happy, and somebody breaks something in the kitchen and say, why are you making noise? And you become angry. Is your happiness that shallow? Is your peace that shallow? Are you that weak that anyone can trigger you from nowhere? If you're sitting peacefully and suddenly the rain starts and your laundry is on the line and you say, oh my God, just wash the laundry, damn, and you lose your peace just because the laundry is outside. What is that happiness? You think about, reflect on your life. How deep is your understanding about life? How real is your peace? How real is your state of mind? Is it jumpy on the surface? Or it is real deep? The more deeper you are, the more power you have. Just like an ocean. The surface of an ocean, continuous waves. And people think, oh, it's so disturbing today, it's high wind gust is happening and sea is so rough. Oh my God, ocean is so rough. Ocean is not rough. Ocean is just making the waves because of the high gusts. You go into the ocean, absolute peace, and still, same like you. You are that ocean. You will be working, you will be walking and talking, and somebody will say, oh, it's this and that and all that stuff. But the real peace is inside you. But when you let those waves disturb your inside, then the tsunami hits. So this is the result of Kriya Yoga. What is the result? You will develop a new neuropath that will guide you towards your eternal peace. And that happiness definition will merge into peace. Happiness doesn't mean that you have to jump and dance. Okay? Somebody brings a birthday cake, you are, oh, very good, I'm very happy. That's not happiness. Equanimous mind, sambhava, somebody dies, you are still the same. Somebody is taken a birth, you are still the same. You have received something, you are still the same. You have lost something, you are still the same. Somebody brings you 10 dishes for your lunch, you're still the same. Somebody has not brought you and you don't have a food, you're still the same. That's equanimous mind. That's peace. Happy with whatever situation you have. So Kriya, when you achieve this state, that is called Ananda. Ananda means, Ananda word. Have you heard the word Ananda? It's blissfulness. And blissfulness is non-duality. There is no opposite to blissfulness. Okay? In the nature, everything, the natural, the elements, like what is the opposite of earth element? Earth is earth. What is the opposite of water element? Water. There is no opposite. Fire. You tend to develop opposites with your logical mind. But nature remains one only. It doesn't go into duality. Normally, 1 plus 1, how many? 1 plus 1, how many? Come on. You will say 2. 1 drop of water plus 1 drop of water. How many drops of water? 1. And after 1 drop of water, how many drops can you take out? Infinite. 1 flame plus 1 flame. Merge. How many flames? 1 earth plus another earth. How many earths? 1. 1 air plus 1 air. 1 air. You see, nature, in purity, remains one. And you are made up of these elements only. Yet we are only seeing the duality because mind comes into play. And mind will do the separation because mind cannot work without separation. It needs duality. So by performing the Kriya Yoga, you are decarbonizing your body, you're stopping the decay of your body, you are aligning yourself into the central channel, your left hemisphere, right hemisphere becomes balanced, new neuropath is created, DNA activation happens, your chakras get balanced, your kundalini is arised, and you achieve the oneness, that permanency, bliss, Anand. Anandoham, 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 Anandoham. That I am that embodiment of bliss. When I choose to release what is not blissful, that is the duality. And that actually enables you to live your life with much more happiness or joy or with much more mindfulness. So performing Kriya Yoga, you become enabled to live your life. Many people think that being spiritual means little bit of disability. You can't do this, you can't do that. Okay? You can't eat this, you can't drink that. The meditator becomes a risk taker. It enables you. Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? So yes becomes the eternity in the meditator. So you drop all the guilts, you drop all the judgments, you drop all the belief systems, you drop all that so-called rules that are been thrown at you by the world. You become, now I'm good with it and I'm good with it. Huh? So, because if you don't experience, your mind is experience, oh, maybe I should have, maybe I could have, maybe I should, this, that. You're actually disturbing yourself more. But when you meditate and when you do the Kriya Yoga, that disability, that I can't do it, transforms into your ability that I can. And this is how you start relishing your life, and then you living your life, not spending it. So the message to you is do Kriya Yoga, okay, and experience the fullness in you. Fullness means not fullness, the wholeness in you, the completeness within you. And when you become complete, only complete can merge with the complete. Om Purnamada Purnamidam. Only complete can come out of complete, and only complete can merge into complete. This complete merges into that complete, only completeness remains. One drop of water merges with the ocean, it still remains the ocean. The drop of water has all the capabilities and all the qualities of the ocean. You are that one drop from the ocean. You have everything. You are not junk. Your DNA, 96% of DNA is not junk. You are not a rubbish center that somebody can dump anything in you. It's just that you have to realize your own usefulness, your own strengths, your own powers, your own reach, which is inside you. So keep performing Kriya every day, in and out, and it will slowly increase you and make you ready to merge. And in the process, keep enjoying your life. Hari Om.